Hey guys, this is Joey from droiddoug.com, and today we're going to do something a little special here. We're going to review both the, well, not review, but we're going to compare the Samsung Galaxy S3 right here on the left and the Apple iPhone 5. Now, the Galaxy S3 has been out for a couple months now, and the iPhone 5 was released just a few weeks ago on September 21st. And so far, both phones have sold relatively well, although the iPhone has set records. And a lot of people are wondering, you know, what's better, the new iPhone 5, which Apple made some refinements that really pleased a lot of people, or the Samsung Galaxy S3, the alternative to the iPhone 5, basically the iPhone 5's biggest competitor as of now. Now, Samsung's also had a huge marketing campaign focused around comparing the Samsung Galaxy S3 to the iPhone 5, and so far I've been hearing a lot about it. People have been talking to me when I carry around the Galaxy S3. People have been saying a lot of stuff like, oh, how's the Galaxy S3, and they're talking to me and they're asking me, is it better than the iPhone, that kind of thing. And a lot of people were really excited to see the iPhone 5 as well. I mean, these are people who they don't really follow the tech blogs or anything. They just you know, just through word of mouth, what they read on the internet, their information isn't always the best. And I've also heard some Apple haters who aren't necessarily in the loop, and they'll hold the phone and they'll go, oh, it's taller, I think it's stupid, which isn't necessarily a good debate. I mean, I've had both devices for a while now. I've had the iPhone 5 for about a week, and I've been using the Galaxy S3. I mean, I've had one in the office for a couple different times during since its release. And first, we'll start off by just doing a little hardware comparison here. The iPhone 5 is boasted to be the thinnest smartphone in the world, which is not true by Apple. That's just downright lying. And next to each other right here, the iPhone 5 is a little thinner here at 7.6 millimeters. You know, you look at the top here, the Galaxy S3 is obviously taller. And you just see, oh, here, my bad. You see it's taller and it is wider by a good amount right there. So the Galaxy S3 is overall a bigger device, but you do have the 4.8-inch HD screen versus the 4-inch Retina display on the iPhone here. And actually, something that I've discovered is that they look remarkably similar. I mean, at least from the front. I mean, you look at the front here, and there's no mistaking that these two devices look pretty similar. I mean, you've got the home button on both down there at the bottom, and one thing you'll notice is that I actually turned off the backlights for the back and menu keys, so you will not be seeing either of those during the video here. But they do look remarkably similar. I've got the white versions of both devices. You've got the grill up there and the camera and all that. There is the branding on the front of the Galaxy S3. You know, that's just how Samsung decided to do it. You flip it over and it's a completely different story. I mean, you've got the completely plastic removable back of the Galaxy S3 here versus the aluminum back, plus the two pieces of glass right there. Cameras in the center on the Galaxy S3, cameras right here in the upper left on the iPhone. Lock buttons on the top of the iPhone, lock buttons on the right side of the Samsung Galaxy S3. So now we'll turn on both devices, and first thing, I mean, two completely different ways to change or to unlock the device. And one thing that I'll also point out is that right here I've got a live background versus, you know, just a solid background here on the iPhone 5. I've got 2 pages of apps plus in here. I mean, there's plenty of apps on the Galaxy S3. Most of them are just preloaded stuff that are on there, but I've also got folders. And between the two devices, they're both incredibly smooth. I mean, you've got the Snapdragon S4 processor in the Galaxy S3, Android 4.0 with stock or TouchWiz, the Nature UI on top of it. iPhone 5, you've got iOS 6 in addition to an A6 processor, which I believe and none of this is official or anything, but it's a 1.3 gigahertz dual-core processor versus the 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor in the Galaxy S3 here. 2 gigs of RAM on the Galaxy S3 versus 1 on the iPhone 5. And like I said earlier, you've got the 4-inch Retina display on the iPhone 5 and the 4.8-inch HD display on the Galaxy S3. Now, right now, I've got both devices running on AT&T. They are both 4G LTE capable. However, neither of them are running on it right now as it's not currently available in my market. It will be by the end of the year though. AT&T did come out and say that there will be LTE in the Milwaukee market at some point this year. So, I mean, we're looking through the apps here, and first and foremost, one thing I'd like to get out of the way is the keyboard here, and we'll just Google search. We'll go messaging. There we go. Message Droid Dog. Alright, so we've just got the keyboards here, and I've actually installed a replacement keyboard on the Galaxy S3, which I will say in its defense, anyone can download their own keyboard on Android, and that's a big thing. This is the Jelly Bean keyboard, and then we'll go to right here on the iPhone, we'll go into messaging. So, I mean, you look, and the keys are obviously bigger on, the keys are obviously bigger on the Galaxy S3 here, and I'm going to get us out of the light there. The keys are obviously bigger on the Galaxy S3 there, although one thing to the iPhone, I actually do like the iPhone keyboard better. It feels a little, when typing on it, it does feel a little bit smoother, I will say. Now, I have been using, I mean, I've used iPhones at various points over the years. I've had iPhones since the original iPhone. I will not lie about that, but that may be part of it versus over the years I've used various different Android keyboards. So, I mean, I'll just type a message here, hey. So I typed that, and there were some typos in the autocorrect, and I'm also more reliant on the autocorrect versus Jelly Bean keyboard here. I'm not so used to, but I can still type just about as fast. Hey, what's up? It's there. I actually did it better there on the Galaxy S3, which and Galaxy S3 also recognizes Droid Dog, so there's points for it right there. Another thing we'll take a look at here is the notification on each device, and we've got here are the notifications on each device. You've got all these toggles up here in addition to your notifications, and it does tell you when the Wi-Fi is connected, which I think is probably the dumbest idea ever on a device, and we've seen it on devices on both AT&T and Verizon. Right here I've got a weather widget and a tap to tweet widget, so I can tap to tweet like right there. And you can also access settings, and you can take care of all this stuff right from the notification. Android notification, obviously, when here, it's just beyond better. Versus, I mean, the Apple ones, they rip off Android, but they do get the job done, I'll give them that. But Android, there's no competition here. And I just got a text message. Okay. What else can we look at about the two devices? We'll go into the browsers and test out the browsers here. So we're going to go grab each browser. So we're going to go google.com and Google. Oh, and it just googled google.com, so we're going to click on Google. The brightness just turned itself down on the Galaxy S3, although between the two devices, we'll talk about display in a second here. So we're going to go Droid Dog, and they're both connected to the same Wi-Fi network. So we're going to look up Droid Dog, and 1, 2. iPhone took it instantly, and would you look at that? Now we're gonna have to do. All right, yeah, iPhone took it instantly, and that is again my mistake here. Oh great, this is just a mess. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just using two devices, still getting used to it. At the same time, at least. So Droid Dog right there. Decline. Oh shoot. Alright, again, these tests are not going as well as I could have hoped. So we're going to type Droid Dog. We'll click on that and we'll click this. They were about the same there, and again, the catch grabbed it. The catch has actually done that search here on the iPhone, so we're going to do that again. This time we will go, we'll go straight to the site here on both devices. So droiddog.com. Droiddog.com. Ready, set, go. Oh, great! I spelled it wrong on the Galaxy S3. Yeah, I'm just not having the best time here doing these comparisons, and I've probably done this for a couple minutes now. So, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna go google.com. Google.com. Ready, set, go. Instantly on both devices. There you go. I'm apparently incapable of doing any other kind of browser test here because both devices just hate me that much. Actually, it's the Galaxy S3, but that's besides the point. Now, the displays on both devices are another big thing. Pixel density is a little higher on the iPhone, and the iPhone looks really good, but there's nothing that really competes with the blacks here on the Galaxy S3. I mean, you look at just the way they design the UI around black in the notifications, and I mean, there's no issue in designing a UI around a display's strong points. Now, colors on the other hand do look a little better on the iPhone, but each has its ups and downs. I'm gonna have to give them a tie. I do like the blacks a little bit better on the Galaxy S3. But the iPhone here, the iPhone definitely holds its ground up, and they're about the same. I can't knock either one for a specific issue. Both just looks absolutely phenomenal. Speed-wise, they are about the same. I'll give a little leg up to the iPhone, nothing major. And that's just the way iOS is designed. Now, for an Android device, Galaxy S is hands down the fastest Android device I've ever used. It's incredibly fast. Everything loads up quickly, and the UI just works fantastically. I mean, there's ups and downs. Another thing is, what's your preference between iOS and TouchWiz? There is the openness of Android. I mean, like I said, you can use a different keyboard. You can find one that fits your needs, and there's, you know, more open apps that take more advantage. However, on iOS, the apps are, for the most part, a little bit better. They do work a little bit better, and I will give that to iOS. It's just the ecosystem's been around there longer, but there's nothing. I mean, most apps you can find for iOS, you can also find on Android. But the game section of iOS is also a little bit bigger. One final thing I'd like to say is that, like right here, my favorite game, Ninja Fishing, I have it on both devices here. I'll load it up. Loading up both devices. Now, the iPhone 5 has a bigger display, and the resolution is a little higher than the previous 4 and 4S. What that means is that not every app is optimized, and these little black bars appear if an app has not yet been optimized. On Android, as you can see here, it just optimized it naturally, and I must say that these little black bars, they annoy me to one of the greatest extents. It drives me up the wall, and then you use an app that is optimized, and it's just such a great, much greater feeling. But just knowing that there's that space that could be used but isn't because iOS is preventing it really kills it. And as of now, that's why I gotta give the leg up to the Galaxy S3. I mean, Galaxy S3 has had everything the iPhone has had for longer. It's got the bigger display. It's got the open ecosystem. iPhone is by no means a bad phone, and I'm sure you'd be happy with either device. I mean, and one other thing is that the cameras on both devices, they're both phenomenal. I mean, on camera, it just wouldn't do it justice, but they're about on par with each other. They're both phenomenal cameras. They take a good picture. I can't knock either one. But again, like I was saying, I gotta give the leg up for now on the Galaxy S3 because just that big killer is the apps, is the fact that while iOS has all these apps and they're all so good, I just can't really use them if there's these black bars preventing me from using them. Again, it's just that annoying. So for now, the Galaxy S3 wins in my opinion. This is a comparison video. There's nothing that you wouldn't be happy with either phone. If you're an Android user looking to try out an iPhone, I'm not going to say no to you. Don't stay away from the iPhone. If you really want to try out an iPhone 5 is definitely a good time to start, and if you don't like it, go back to Android. I mean, you can buy the phone and you know, you can always return it for a Galaxy S3 if you know, you're in the mood. Now, thank you. This is Joey from droiddog.com. Let us know what you thought of the video. Let us know what you'd like to see. We always love to hear from our community. And I will apologize just for futzing around a little too much in this video. But again, thank you guys for watching. It really means a lot that you watch, and we'll catch you in the next video.